What's going on, everybody? It's Ricky with Videohomicide, back with another video nasty. Today we're going to be talking about Robert Andelson's 1977 thriller, Fight for Your Life. Oh my fucking god. This movie, I can see why it was made a video nasty for multiple reasons, but one of the main reasons that this film was prosecuted was because of the amount of harsh language that was used throughout. Now, let me tell you something. This movie is not for the faint of heart, and not only, like, it's graphic, sure, but the amount of racism in this film is unfucking believable. It is, multiple times I had to stop and laugh, mainly because the main bad guy in this movie, Kane, played by William Sanderson, looks fucking exactly like a guy that works at my work. And I sent my coworker, like, another buddy, like, photos of it and said, dude, who the fuck does this look like? And he's like, man, oh my fucking god. So basically, Fight for Your Life is the story of these three convicts who escape transport during a route where they're being taken from prison to prison, whatever it is. And they escape. They actually steal a car from a pimp and go, like, take off. They're on the road, basically. They're being pursued by this one cop. And at the same time, there's this nice family of black people. I gotta point that out because it leads into a lot of the insanity of this film. So the father's a reverend or a pastor, and he's got a daughter, a wife, the grandma, and his young son. His young son has a friend that's, they camp out in the woods together and stuff like that. So one day, or this unfortunate day, where the daughter is sent to the liquor store to go get liquor for the, wine for the night because they're having guests over. Now, once she gets to the liquor store, she's met by our villains, who have recently just killed a mechanic, or left him, like, very close to death, and they took his money and all that kind of stuff. So they're all three of these convicts. There's Kane, and there's an Asian guy, and there's a Mexican guy. All three out of their fucking minds. And they do a cool thing in this film because, like, during the beginning, after they escape, they show footage of the convicts, and they're talking and stuff, but you can't hear them because you hear the sound of, like, the police notification. Jimmy, or the Asian guy's name was Ling, so it's like Ling, blah blah blah, did all these murders or whatever it was, and it goes through that for all three of them, and I really like that. Gives you a bit of context of what kind of scumbaggery they've been up to. So, get back to the liquor store. So the little girl, or the daughter, she's not like a little girl, she's like a teenage girl, but she gets something horrible done to her later. But she gets taken by these guys, and they get, they take her back to the house, and now they terrorize the family. Okay, the father shows up, they're terrorizing, they're humiliating him, making him fucking, eat with them, calling him massa, just treating him like shit, making him dance, making him sing, all this stuff, and, like, being uber racist. At one point, I have to say this because this is how ridiculous it got. At one point, he calls him Martin Luther Coon, and I was like, dude, this is so fucking out of control. Like, I only laugh because it's so fucking insane. You know what I mean? Like, by today's standards, like, if you said anything that was said in this movie, like, in the real world of 2023, you would probably be fucking crucified, or lynched, or whatever the fuck. But there's also an attempted lynching in this film, because basically whenever the main guy is tested, he feels like he has to prove himself. So this guy Kane, they keep saying, he's calling everyone yella and all this kind of stuff, but he's really the one that's a coward. And it's fucking, like, brought to light near the end, where, like, it turns out he was so mean to this family because the father looks like the guy that his mom ran off with, and it's fucking crazy. I don't know, I had a blast with this movie. There is scenes, other than, like, the insane racism, that would qualify it to be a video nasty, because there's an instance where a fucking handgun is pointed at a little kid, like a little kid meaning, like, 2 years old, and all in frame. Like, it's totally, like nowadays you look at it and you're like, wow, like, that's fucking, they wouldn't do that now, but, like, they did that then and it was effective. And this movie had multiple parts that made me feel really fucking bad for this family, like, especially when he starts singing that song, and you can, like, see in his face, because it's like a religious man, and he's, like, singing this religious song, and his family joins in, and it's just a very, like, you know, you feel bad for this guy, you know, and like the one you gotta feel bad for the most is there's this fucking cop that's helping the detective, like our main detective guy, and his son is friendly with the black family's son, and you know, through different circumstances, this white kid, the cop's son, shows up at the house to collect his buddy, and his buddy's like, no, sorry, I can't come over, and the little white kid gets suspicious, and he ends up getting his fucking head beat in with a rock, and like you kind of think that he's gonna make it, you know, because he kind of like he sees like the home invasion happening, starts running, boom, gets killed by the Asian guy, and then there's this other woman, this white woman who like he kind of like alludes that he killed her, but then kind of alludes that she didn't. I don't know, but clearly he did because he had like her bra and he's covered in fucking blood and shit. So I don't know. Insane movie, lots of good moments. There's some really good special effects in terms of you know, like the little kid, like when the little kid's laid out in the woods, like the little white kid, it kind like, and it shows his body twice. It kind of reminds me of like or maybe it just showed it once, but it reminded me of Candyman, where that little kid's in the fucking bathroom, like gets his wiener cut off, and like that's what that reminded me of. Like when you show like a dead kid in a movie, it's a different kind of feeling you get than if you're just showing like a dead fucking guy or a dead chick, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, this movie, it's fucking terrible, but it's amazing. I loved it. I thought it was entertaining the whole time. Couldn't take my eyes off the screen. Highly recommend this one. This is one of those ones that I was kind of like about, like when I'm looking at the list of video nasties and the movies I gotta watch, and this one, man, hour and 24 minutes flew by, felt like fucking 10 minutes. It was super fun. I can't wait for my dad to see this. I can't wait for my brother to see this, because he's gonna look at it from a different perspective, because like he knows that I find like insane stuff funny, and he does too. So when we watch this, it's gonna be a different flavor of insanity. So I appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure you leave a 666 in the comments. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video, and with that being said, adios. Let's get these fucking nasties going.